An update on a West Yorkshire attack dog chokehold as the man who was detained speaks out. A woman given a community order for telling a journalist she is a fucking dumb bitch. And a man accused of and held by police for sex crimes has his name cleared. This and more coming up. Don't forget, due to the subject matters that are normally in these videos, it is highly unlikely that YouTube will allow any adverts to be played, making monetization very difficult. If you're able to, please consider helping out by visiting the channel Patreon page, where you can help support the channel for as little as just £3 a month. If not, please just comment, like, share or subscribe, as that also helps. Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, innies, outies, in-betweeners. It's me, Dan. Welcome back to another PAP Reports, The Bad Bits. It's Thursday, August 20th, 2020. I showed a video yesterday and spoke about the West Yorkshire Police "I'll choke you out" constable who had a man in a chokehold whilst trying to detain him in Halifax. Something many were shocked by, but others praised on social media. Well, the detained man, Hassan Ahmed, has spoken out about the arrest, claiming that he thought he was going to die. 27-year-old Ahmed from Halifax, who was released under investigation, says that he was not resisting. Speaking out about the incident, Ahmed said, "I was afraid for my life. I thought, that's it, he's going to end up killing me. I honestly thought it was my final moments. I was in shock. I was really scared." And to be fair, which I have to be, although your natural reaction is to resist, is ingrained fight or flight, and although it didn't seem that Ahmed was fighting back, he was certainly struggling. But that does not give the plod the right to strangle someone, especially with all their restraint techniques they're supposed to have learnt, with strangling people not being on the curriculum. Ahmed admitted punching a man after being called to an address by a family member and getting into an argument. He said that he was pushed by the police constable, but complied and didn't resist. You see, I'm not sure I would call that full compliance, but again, excessive force was used on him. He said, "I was thinking about my family. I thought, he's not going to let go, he's going to keep going, he's going to finish me. I was in pain," he said. "I couldn't breathe, I couldn't feel anything, I couldn't even gasp for air." He carried on and he punched me in my face. Mr. Ahmed says the incident has left him unable to sleep or work. After the incident, around 100 protesters attended Halifax police station carrying signs that read, "Stop police brutality" and "You're not above the law." Ahmed's sister, Safia, said it's obviously struck a chord with everyone from every background. Now remember, I'm not for a moment suggesting the police use reasonable force, but I have to point out that to say you were compliant and didn't resist when it's clear that's not quite the case really doesn't help the situation. When someone grabs you around the throat, you have a reaction. Denying that to yourself or to the public doesn't help to bring credibility. West Yorkshire Police, upon being made aware of the video, took the constable from operational duties, but later suspended him while he is under investigation. And when more information comes out, I will obviously let you know. Heading out of the UK again today for this next story as we head over to Belgium, where a man died in police custody and whose widow is calling for a fresh inquiry after images of the detention emerged. Joseph Chovanec was arrested in 2018 at an airport after allegedly causing a disturbance on his flight. Whilst in custody, he began banging his head on the wall of his cell to the point of it bleeding. A group of police are later seen pinning him down. Chovanec was taken to hospital but fell into a coma and sadly died the following day. Now, images that were obtained by a Belgian newspaper from his cell show several police laughing during the incident, whilst another appears to be given a Nazi salute. Another is also filmed sitting on Chovanec's ribcage for around 16 minutes. Henrietta, Joseph's widow, said, "I want to know what happened and why the police behaved that way." Joseph owned a construction recruitment company and is said to have frequently flown between Slovakia and Belgium for business. His family say that they do not know the reason for his erratic behaviour during police custody, and an autopsy revealed he had not been under the influence of drugs or alcohol. Henrietta said, "Something seemed to be going on with my husband. He wasn't feeling well, but the police ignored my husband all night. When they saw the blood, they should have given him first aid. Instead, they sat on him, with so many people couldn't breathe properly. The investigation has been ongoing now for 2 years, and Henrietta has now called for a new judge to be appointed. A spokesperson for the Public Prosecutor's Office has blamed the delay on the COVID crisis, and a spokesperson for the police said that the officer given the Nazi salute will be dismissed from the 20th of August. Well, I guess we should all be kind of grateful that these kind of bastards are not isolated to the UK and the USA. At least we know it's not just us who has to put up with these kind of inhumane and cretinous cunts. The police are said to be taking action against 2 women who messaged a journalist, with one of them calling her a fucking dumb bitch. Staffordshire Police and Cumbria Police were called by the journalist's local force regarding the comments that she had received. One of the comments calling her a vile human being and that she should be ashamed of herself as a mother. I know, folks, absolutely fucking despicable crimes. The worst I have ever seen or heard about. The journalist Amy Fenton, chief reporter at South Cumbria Daily, The Mail, had previously said to have been forced to flee her home after receiving death threats online after serious allegations of sexual and physical abuse were made against the local businessman on social media, with some readers wrongly claiming there was a conspiracy between the press and the police to cover up crimes, amid protest being held in Barrow and Furness over an alleged grooming gang operation. Yeah, see, they say it was wrongly claimed there was a conspiracy between the press and the police to cover up crimes. You see, that's just their word for it. The Staffordshire Police spokesperson said, "We were notified by another police force that an offensive message had been sent from our force area via social media. The matter has since been dealt with through a community resolution." For calling someone a fucking dumb bitch or a vile human being. Now, I'll tell you something, Staffordshire Police. You are fucking dumb and vile pieces of shit, infringing on people's freedom of expression. Amy Fenton is a reporter. Like the police, they are going to have a high level of criticism for their reports and should be used to it. Jesus, the abuse I get on here sharing these stories is far worse than what she gets. In a separate incident, a 19-year-old woman has accepted a caution from Cumbria Police over a malicious communications sent to Amy. According to Amy, the woman sent her numerous vile messages, including one in which she said people are after you, which in honesty is pretty stupid and does reflect a crime, as in the threat of harm. So I can't really say much about that one. A Cumbria Police spokesperson said a 19-year-old woman from South Cumbria has accepted a caution following an allegation of sending malicious communications to a woman aged in her 30s. The woman was cautioned on Sunday the 2nd of August. Now, I said it was going to start happening here in this country, and it has. This whole face mask campaign, which generally concentrates on telling people to wear them, with very little publicity about the fact that some people can't wear them, has led to a man being knocked the fuck out at Clapham Junction station. Police were investigating after a man was punched by a fellow passenger at Clapham Junction and required hospital treatment for a severe laceration and stitches to his head for a wound after being knocked out. The man was clearly pro-mask, and he and a friend had been arguing with South Western Railway staff by the ticket barrier because one of their members of staff was not wearing a mask. Footage from a camera phone shows a white male in a grey hoodie pushing a pram past the heated exchange, who was also not wearing a mask. The pro-masker is heard saying, "You're not wearing one either," which he later said was not actually directed at the man walking past. But in response, the man turns around and walks away from his pram, shouting, "Don't fucking start on me," and punches the busybody, knocking him to the floor, out cold. A member of staff is heard saying, "I told you both to go, didn't I?" After recovering from his date with the floor, he told reporters that my friend asked one of the station staff a totally reasonable and polite question: "Are you exempt from wearing a mask?" She snapped back saying, "None of your business." And too fucking right. I mean, I'm sorry if you don't agree with me on this, but it's no fucker's business if you have an exemption or if you have a medical condition, and asking someone is not polite or reasonable. That's like going up to someone and asking them if they like to be rimmed. Fucking hell. He said, "Admittedly, I lost my temper a bit. It escalated into a row with other station staff. Then you can see the rest. Thug leaves the scene, staff do nothing." No idea who he is, just some random person who was walking without a face covering, assumed when I was talking to the guards, just flew off straight away. Bang. None of that even makes any fucking sense. South Western Railway said the member of staff who was not wearing a mask had a medical exemption. It said the assault was an altercation between members of the public and staff had assisted with first aid and alerted the police. Spokesperson for South Western Railway said, "Our staff reported this incident to British Transport Police, who are now investigating this." British Transport Police said in a statement officers were called to Clapham Junction Station at 8:38 p.m. on the 16th of August following reports of an assault. The victim was punched in the face by another man at the barrier line, who then left the station. Inquiries into the incident are currently ongoing. Now here's your chance to take a look at this busybody getting knocked the fuck out.
I've got you on film. I've got you on film. Excuse me, I've got you on film. You've knocked him out.
You both to go.
And he's bleeding. He's bleeding.
Both to go, didn't I?
He's bleeding. Can someone call an ambulance?
Yes, they're doing that.
Well, no, you need to do it as well.
No.
Don't move. Don't move.
You want to stop dishing out?
Don't move. Don't move. Don't move. Don't move. Don't move. No, just don't move. Don't move. Don't move.
An unnamed man from South Wales was wrongly exposed of being a sex offender and spent 36 hours in jail before he was released on bail last Christmas after a paedophile hunters group visited the man and called police, all because an actual pedo stole his identity. 53-year-old Stephen Price stole the man's identity and used his picture on an internet dating site that he used to groom underage girls. Between September 2019 and February 2020, Price thought he was communicating with a schoolgirl called Talia. He sent her pornography and videos of himself performing sex acts. However, he was in fact talking to a decoy from paedophile hunting group Scorpion Hunters UK, who were posing as the 14-year-old. Cardiff Crown Court heard members of Scorpion Hunters UK went to the home of the man whose identity was stolen by Price. He was wrongly exposed as a sex offender for 3 months on the group's Facebook page and spent 36 hours in police custody. Christopher Rees, prosecuting, said Price had created a fake profile on a dating site for over 18s. He used a profile picture of a South Wales man who I will refer to as Male A. The defendant was in contact with Talia on the dating site, who was a member of a paedophile hunting group called Scorpion Hunters UK. She told him she was 14 and there was an extensive chat log. He sent her videos where he was performing sex acts and he sent her pornographic videos. They arranged to meet, but he did not attend. Last December, 4 large men turned up at his home to accuse him of being a paedophile in front of his mother. Mr. Rees said he told them he had no idea what they were talking about. The man called the police himself after the visit, but he was arrested once police arrived. He spent 36 hours in custody until he was bailed on Christmas Eve. Mr. Rees added he wasn't able to spend Christmas with his son because he was under suspicion. His details were posted online by Scorpion Hunters UK and they were up there for 3 months. He became a pariah in the local area and was bombarded with abuse over social media. The man was only cleared of suspicion when Price got in touch with Talia again in February and unwittingly unmasked himself. Price of Barry, South Wales, admitted 6 charges of grooming between September 2019 and February 2020. They included attempting sexual communication with a child, attempting to cause a child to watch sexual activity, attempting to engage in sexual activity with a child, and attempting to incite a child to engage in sexual activity. Judge Nicola Jones criticised the paedophile hunting group, who have trapped lots of offenders across the UK. She said, "I must emphasise the danger of Scorpion Hunters UK, who posted details on social media before there had been a conviction. Just before Christmas, 4 large men attended an entirely innocent man's home and accused him of being a paedophile in front of his elderly mother. His details were posted on Facebook and he was kept in police custody for 36 hours. Male A was reviled and abused in his own community. On February 26, the paedophile hunter group realised the enormous mistake they had made and that they had named and shamed a man who was entirely innocent. Price was jailed for 3 years, 3 fucking years, and ordered to register as a sex offender for life. Now, although I do agree with these groups, I recently said in a report that perhaps the police should start working with them. I mean, the groups can find people and pass the information to the police and let the police then deal with that information. Obviously, they would have to deal with it or it wouldn't work. But this also follows a High Court case which saw a paedophile complain that his human rights were infringed upon when a judge and police criticised the paedo hunting groups, calling them vigilantes. Now, they wouldn't be vigilantes if the police were to work with these groups. The police always moan about lack of manpower. Well, then why not swallow your pride and reach out to the groups and offer them assistance? Let them track down the dirty cunts, and then all you've got to do is check the information, and then go and arrest them. It seems to me to be a partnership that would work. But of course, the police don't like it when normal members of the public know more or can do more than them and simply let their egos prevent them from forming an alliance with people who can save them time and money. And would also be a partnership that would limit the risk of people being wrongly accused. After all of our government agencies seem to love farming work out to private companies these days rather than doing things themselves. Big thank you to all of the channel supporters, especially channel Patreon supporters. Your support is truly appreciated. And that's it for today. That's it. That's all I have for you in today's Too Much for YouTube. Please like, share, comment and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts, as I know many of you will. Until next time, stay safe, look after each other, film the police, and of course, other officials. Good night, all. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you like the content and you'd like to help support the channel, you can do so. In the description of every video, there are some links to ways that you're able to help support the channel so I can continue putting out content. If you're unable to help us in that way, hit that subscribe button up the top there. If you haven't already, become a subscriber. That is support enough. Share the videos, comment, like, it all helps. If you're looking for something else to watch, up top there is my latest video. Down the bottom there is a video that YouTube recommends for you.